Owen, talk us through how this very, very long pre-season has been for you guys at the Ospreys.
Yeah, obviously we've had a good few months together, but I think there's been so much change in the squad, and obviously we're relying on a lot of youngsters this season. I think we need that time to prepare. Obviously we've sort of built a good squad culture this year, I think. But like I said, we need this time to prepare, and we're looking forward to Saturday to get a sort of show what we've been working on.
How has it been for you as someone that's been around at the Ospreys for a long time now compared to the new people that have come in? How have you find your, I don't know, your day-to-day role in training has changed now that you are one of the constants?
Yeah, firstly, I feel a lot older. Seen a lot of like the 18, 19-year-old boys coming into the squad this year. But yeah, for me and a lot of the old boys, I think we've all just sort of with sort of leadership roles this year. The younger boys look up to us and set the standard. So yeah, obviously it's exciting year. So many younger boys come to the squad, but like I said, we're really ready to go now.
Yeah, how have they been fitting in? You mentioned about the culture there. What's been different in this pre-season apart from obviously a big change in personnel?
Yeah, like all the youngsters coming through now, they're all good boys and they're all ready to learn. So it's all building their confidence in knowing they're gonna have to step up for us this year, and building that sort of in the squad. We want to be confrontational. We want to challenge each other in training, and I think as the season goes on, they'll have that confidence to be able to do that and challenge older boys, challenge the coaches, and sort of get their views across on what they want as well.
How nice was it to get those pre-season games under your belt? Because it's been a while since you all played a game of rugby. How do you feel that those games went ahead of the new season?
Personally, obviously, it was nice to get a run out against the Dragons. It's been, obviously, last year was a lot of stop-start for me with injuries. So it was nice to get out there of 40 minutes, but took quite a few days to recover from it. But I think as a squad, we got what we wanted. Obviously, it was never going to be perfect, those pre-season games, but I thought we built into them nicely and ready for Connacht now.
How are you feeling personally then? You mentioned the injuries there. How are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, like I said, last year obviously difficult. In December, knee operation, then Saracens game, I hit my neck, so it was really frustrating year for me. But this year I think is probably telling me I need to look after my body a bit better maybe. But I'm feeling really good. I've had a good pre-season to get sort of physically get things nailed on. So yeah, I'm feeling good and ready to go.
And personally, I know that the injuries didn't help the Welsh hopes for yourself and getting into the Welsh squad. What are your aims for this season now? Is it just a case of head down, crack on with the Ospreys and see where it goes?
Yeah, I think you spot on there. I think hopefully play as much as I can for the Ospreys, and if I'm performing well, you never know what can happen. But firstly for me is perform for the Ospreys, get results, and then whatever happens then.
How nice is it that they were the co-captains for Wales in the World Cup with two Ospreys players? What will it do to the squad morale when them two and the others return to training?
Yeah, obviously seeing Derry and Jack being co-captain, just obviously for me being friendly with them is great to see, and I've no doubt when they come back in the squad they bring that sort of leadership and experience they've had over the last 3-4 months being leaders of the Welsh squad would be super beneficial for us. And obviously people like Nicky, Beardy, Tommy, George, all them coming back in the squad would be massive beneficial for us.
And Connacht then, one on Connacht, going out there this weekend, first game. I bet you can't wait to start the season now, but it's not going to be tough going out there to Ireland, is it? The weather sometimes plays a big factor over there, and they've got an artificial pitch as well. What are you expecting on Saturday?
Yeah, we know the conditions out there. It can be one half you can have the wind with you, second half you can have it, like it just changes. You don't know what's going to happen, so we're prepared for that. But yeah, we know it's going to be a physical game. We're going to have to stay in that dogfight, I think, for as long as possible. But like we always say, it's 80% us, 20% them. We've prepared what we can do. We just got to do it now on the weekend.
And finally, what does a successful season for the Ospreys look like in your opinion then? Because there's been a changeover in the squad, as we mentioned, and we all know what happened in Welsh rugby last season. There's going to be this budget cuts and everything. How do you think that's going to affect the season, and what are your hopes as a region?
For us as players, we just need to focus on the playing. If we do exactly what we say we can do throughout the week, I have no doubt we're going to get results. So it's Like I say, every week we're going to have to win, and it doesn't always pan out like that. But it's how we stick together and how we keep bouncing back from results that maybe don't go away.
Diolch, Owen. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hi, Owen. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good. Obviously, as we've alluded to, obviously injuries didn't help. But in terms of Wales, did you get any feedback from the coaches over why you weren't included in the training squad?
No, I didn't get any feedback. But like I say, they're probably not worrying about it. One individual. They were obviously looking at our World Cup and how they can perform. So I completely understand their focus was the World Cup and getting their squad ready.
Yeah, and from a personal point of view, I mean, do you sort of, as a player, do you identify like areas of a game that you need to improve on in order to sort of get back in the squad? Is that something you've done?
Yeah, for example, I know I need to play more often. I can't afford to be playing for 3 or 4 weeks and have an injury. So it's one thing for me, looking after my body and making sure I can perform week in, week out to put my hand up for selection.
Yeah, obviously, there's a more youthful feel to to all the regions, not just the Ospreys this season. How, as one of the more senior players, how impressed have you been with some of the younger guys in the Ospreys backline? And are there any players that have really sort of impressed you in training that you thought, Christ, he's got a lot of potential?
For me, I think Weston Hopkins, he had a few games last year for us, but I think he got a few games last year, but I think the experience really has hit him, and I think he's really stepped up this year. I know he's got a bit of an injury at the minute, but I'm looking forward to seeing him come out when he's fit and playing. Another one, Dan Edwards. I know he's maybe 20, 21, but for a young out to half, he's really experienced and knowledgeable, and I think the more we can encourage him to be confident and express how he feels and what he wants, it'd be better for us.
Yeah, obviously, as a centre, you're always going to have some form of leadership role, but it feels weird calling you a senior player because you're still quite young, but as one of the senior players, do you feel an extra bit of responsibility because it's a younger squad than it's been in the past? Do you take on more of a mentorship role with some players? What's your sort of role off the field?
Yeah, I think obviously the coaches look at me for a defensive leadership role. I'd like to think the younger boys, if they need advice defensively, they know they can come to me, and obviously from that, then I got to set an example. If they're going to come to me, I got to have the answers for them. So yes, as leadership boys like myself, Keelan, Luke Morgan, even Max Nagy, you really got to know your stuff. So when the young boys do come to you for feedback, or you've got to tell them what's right and wrong, you've got the answer, sort of thing.
Yeah, and just finally, you're quite excited by the potential of the Ospreys backline. I know it. It depends on the ball the forwards give you, but there's a lot of individual talent in the backs, isn't there?
Yeah, like obviously, like Luke Morgan, Keelan Giles, Nagy, they're tremendous players, and I think no doubt our forwards would give us that platform on the weekend. Obviously, we're dependent how we want to play, but like I said, we got like Kieran Williams again. We got really attacking threats here, so I think if we can get the ball on the front foot, we will cause Connacht problems.
Brilliant. Thanks, Owen, and good luck for the weekend and for the season.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hi, Owen. It's William here in Galway. Looking forward to you coming over at the weekend. I'm just wondering, talking again about your role there, how much of a role do you actually have during the game with younger players that you've got to keep talking to them, keep putting them in the right places? And is that something that you'll be at on Saturday? Because it is you can play warm-up games, but this is the real deal now.
Yeah, I know, like on Saturday against Connacht, we know it's going to be a massive test, but I think for the older heads like myself, Tips, Luke Morgan, we know things ain't going to go perfect, things are going to go wrong. It's how do we limit those things that go wrong, and how do we get back to doing things well? So it's not getting frustrated and just sticking in there. I think that's what we've got to keep driving to the younger boys.
And I suppose with a synthetic pitch, it will be quite a quick game. So it's an opportunity for the speedsters to get moving on both sides.
Yeah, like obviously with the artificial, like you say, it's going to be really fast. So that's what we want. We want the ball in our hands. We want to have opportunities to have one-on-ones, beat defenders. And I think, like we spoke earlier, our backline, if you get those boys ball one-on-one, I back them to beat anyone.
And just looking at how will you fit the players back in when they come back from the World Cup? I suppose that's a job for management, but it's also a job for the other players, maybe to put their hands up now and fight for that particular jersey.
Yeah, I think us boys, we've got to put our hands up, because those boys, they deserve to walk back into the shirt, because they've been out playing for Wales because they've been playing well. So, and rightly so, they come back in and have their jersey back. But like, we all got to put our hand up and really compete. That's what we want. We want that competitive environment in training, day in, day out, week after week. Boys really fighting against each other to put their hand up for the jersey.